Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great week so far. In today's video, I'm going to be going over all the items that you need to bathe and groom your baby so that they're nice and fresh and clean. And if you're new to the video, welcome. My name is Soumya and I'm the founder of Mom to Mom. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you do end up finding it helpful, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and also please do subscribe so that you can become a part of my YouTube family. Okay, on to the items. Now I'm going to be covering all of the items based on the steps that I follow to give my baby a bath. That way I make sure I'm not missing anything. A lot of the items can be used well into your child's third or fourth year of age until they start to have strong preferences on certain products. And I've also linked all of these down below, so make sure to check them out in case you're interested in purchasing any of them for your baby. So the first thing that I do before giving my baby a bath is an oil massage. Now there are no set guidelines really around when to start an oil massage for a newborn. You know, back home in India, they begin this process right from the time a child is brought home from the hospital, so really anywhere on the second or the third day. But you know, in the US, I've really heard many varying responses from moms around this, and so you know, make sure to check with your pediatrician in case you're just unsure or don't know when to start. In my case, I chose to start this once my son's umbilical cord fell off, and also once his skin layers had a bit more time to develop, and so this is anywhere after the second or the third week. Now, for an oil massage, the first thing that you need is an absorbent sheet. So something like this. Basically, it's a sheet that absorbs liquid but then remains dry. So basically, I place my baby on the sheet and then I begin the massage. And the next item that you need, obviously, is oil. So the safest oil really to use on a baby is good old coconut oil. You know, it's free from any sort of chemical reactions, and it tends to be very safe on children. You know, especially since their skin is so sensitive at that age. What you just want to essentially make sure to avoid any sort of fragrant oils that can tend to have a chemical or an allergic reaction on your child's skin. So coconut oil or extra virgin coconut oil tends to be a really great option. Now for the bath essentials. Now the first item that I want to call out here is the baby bathtub. You know, at the newborn stage, you may choose to give your child a sponge bath before transitioning them to being directly in water. Either way, you want to place your child in a lying down position on their back, but with their head slightly tilted at the neck region, just to prevent water from getting into their eyes, nose, or ears. And so for this reason, it's always good to invest in a baby bathtub. We got the one by Fisher Price, as you can see in this image right here. Now this particular product just accommodates various stages of a baby's development. At the start, you would want to place your newborn on the sling or the insert of this particular tub. That way your baby can be in an elevated position when you give them a sponge bath. And then as your baby slowly starts to learn to sit, you can get rid of the sling or the insert and then place them directly in the inbuilt seat that comes along with this tub. So that way this is a great product. The next thing that I wanted to call out was the temperature of the water that you use. You want to make sure that the temperature is warm and not hot. You get a lot of these bath thermometers these days. That way it helps you kind of check the temperature of the water before giving your baby a bath. But otherwise, a good rule of thumb is to place your elbow in the water and then check to see if the temperature is warm or hot before beginning a bath. Now the next product that I want to call out is the shampoo and body wash that I use for my child. Now I use the one by Honest Company, as you can see right here. It's a shampoo and a body wash all in one, so that way it's a great product. This was recommended to me by a colleague and friend, and I'm so glad that she did. Their products are so mild and completely chemical free. My son has had no reactions from this product, and so I continue to use this. It's proved to be great for me. When I was in India, actually, I used the product. I used the Mama Earth brand. So again, a very mild product that just has no chemicals and has been great and has no reactions on my child. So the tip really here is whichever brand or whichever product you use, you just essentially want to make sure that it's fragrant free and chemical free at the initial stages, just because their skin is so sensitive at that stage. And so for my moms who are based outside of the US, like in India or in other parts of the world, that's a good tip to keep in mind. Other products that I also recommend are Cetaphil's and CeraVe's baby washes, because they're also very mild and completely chemical free. So that's on the shampoo and the body wash. Now, the next thing that I then want to call out is the washcloth. Now, I mentioned this in my What's in My Diaper Bag video as well, but these washcloths just come in so handy and can just be used for, multiple purposes. So I always have a bunch of like washcloths handy with me and segregated just based on the need for my child. Now, during the sponge bath phase, you would essentially just wet one side of the washcloth and then be able to rub that on your baby. You would rinse it and then you'd be able to rub the cloth on your baby as you give them a sponge bath. But then once you transition them to being directly in water, you wouldn't need this particular product as part of your bath time routine. Okay, so the next thing that I want to call out is a ducky toy. Now, this is just basically any sort of squeaky, bright toy because babies like visuals and they like sounds. So if your child is someone who does not enjoy bath time routine too much, this could be something that you could explore and try out just to see if that distracts them as you give them a bath or a sponge bath. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to call out then is the hooded towel. Now again, please make sure to wash, the washcloth or the hooded towel or any sort of materials that you use on your child before giving them a bath, just because, their skin is so sensitive and you don't want them to have any sort of reactions from any of these products. So a good product to get at this initial stage is a nice hooded towel. So it comes with this hood right here and then it's just a regular towel. But babies can catch a cold really quick, and so it's nice to place this hood over their head as soon as you give them a bath, in case you wet their hair, and so that way they're nice and warm, and you can kind of prevent them from catching a cold. Finally, after wiping your baby down, you may choose to use a moisturizer to leave their skin well hydrated, just depending on the weather. Now, you could choose to skip this step altogether, but in case you do decide to use a moisturizer, you want to make sure that it's chemical-free and fragrance-free, again, just because their skin is so sensitive at that age. So what I have with me here is the Aveeno Baby Balm. This one is an eczema therapy balm, obviously just because the weather has been really cold here of late, but you could choose to use a regular Aveeno Baby Balm or a similar product. If you don't want to use one of these moisturizers, the safest option really to resort to is good old coconut oil. I mentioned that earlier as well, but that just tends to be really, really safe and won't have any chemical reactions on your baby. Okay, so these are the bath essentials, and now I want to go over the grooming essentials. The first thing that I wanted to call out here is the baby brush. Now, you can't really use, an adult comb or an adult brush on your child just because the bristles tend to be too rough and that could damage baby's skin. And so what I have with me here is a nice cute baby brush that I just hold on to using the handles here, and then I brush his hair. So this is something that you could consider holding on to. The next thing that I want to call out is a nail clipper and a filer. Now, babies' nails tend to grow really fast, so you want to make sure that you have these products with you at all times to trim their nails periodically and just to prevent them from scratching themselves. So I have, both a nail clipper and I have a nail filer as well. Now, this is an electronic nail filer. Some people may choose to use a manual filer, but that just takes a lot of time. The nail clipper, I'm always intimidated by just because I'm just worried that I might tend to cut him and that might bleed. And so, my husband and I always use the electronic nail filer, and that's just worked really well for us. It comes with these nice sandpaper pads, and so it just becomes extremely easy to file baby's nails. So these are sandpaper pads like these that you just attach to the filer and then you can trim their nails. Okay, so these are all of the essentials that I wanted to cover around bathing and grooming. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe so that this can reach other parents or other moms as well in need of such pointers. Stay tuned for more mom tips. Until then, just sending so much love and warmth to all your parents. Bye.